Hi guys, welcome to 2000 Railway. Today, we are at Manchester Piccadilly Station, the busiest station in Manchester. Being the channel's first episode, today we'll be on the railway with many firsts. This time we'll be travelling through the northern route of the Liverpool-Manchester lines. Originally built by the Liverpool and Manchester Railway, it was the first intercity railway as well as the first railway operated entirely by steam locomotion. Starting here at Piccadilly, we'll go west through Newton-le-Willows and finally arrive at Liverpool-Lime Street after travelling 32.5 route miles or 52.3 kilometers. It is now very convenient to book a ticket online and take it from the ticket machine at the station. Just insert the bank card and type in the 8-digit reservation code and the ticket will be printed. I bought an advance ticket today. Advance tickets can be used on one specified train and can be much cheaper. This 1 hour single journey costs £1.90 with a railcard discount included. In comparison, an anytime ticket valid at any time of the day will cost anywhere from £13.5 to £16.7. This 1 hour single journey costs £2 with a railcard discount included. After getting my ticket, let's get to the platforms. It's quite interesting as automatic barriers are installed for platform 1 through 7 while ticket checks are done manually for all the other platforms. Before we get onto the train, just a bit of history. Manchester Piccadilly has 14 platforms, 12 of them are bay platforms with a pair of through island platforms numbered 13 and 14, and we are going to platform 14 today. The station was opened by the Manchester and Birmingham Railway in 1842 as Store Street and is built on a 30 feet or 9 meters viaduct. The station was shared with the Sheffield, Ashton-under-Lyne and Manchester Railway when it opened. Its name was changed to Manchester London Road in 1847. A third company, which was owned by the previous two, known as Manchester, South Junction and Altrincham Railway, started operating from a westbound platform, and its lines eventually joined up with the L&MR line at Otso Lane Junction. The platform was then rebuilt into an island platform connected with a bridge, which would later become platform 13 and 14 today. During the 1950s, the station was redeveloped and finally renamed Manchester Piccadilly in 1962. With the train almost arriving, let's get to platform 14. Currently standing here is a class 156 for the 12:18 service to Southport. Although it's not shown very clearly, our train's information is now on the passenger information display system. We'll be on the 12:22 service to Liverpool-Lime Street.
Attempt into vault. Once again, this is 12:22 Northern service to Liverpool-Lime Street.
Carrying us today will be a Northern Class 323, known for its iconic acceleration sound. The train came from Crewe through the Crewe-Manchester line and the Style line via Manchester Airport. In addition to the Class 323s, Class 319s transferred from Thameslink also run this service. Quickly, we are departing Piccadilly on the MSJ and AR's Viaduct. This stretch of track is known as the Castlefield Corridor and is one of Britain's most congested railway routes. Notably, this route was built as a viaduct from the start in the 1840s to minimize the area of land that had to be bought. The viaduct was built with red bricks and has multiple arches and is now a Grade 2 listed building. If you have spotted a bottle out of the window, that's a monument dedicated to Vimto, an iconic British soft drink created in Manchester in 1908 by John Noel Nichols, who saw a potential for soft drinks due to the prevalence of the temperance movement in the early 20th century. The next station, Manchester Oxford Road, is also unusual. As opposed to other stations built with concrete or metal, the station was built with a lot of timber. This was done to reduce the load on the viaduct. The iconic platform canopies and the station entrance that resembles the Sydney Opera House are two places that are worth an extra look. The station serves a large student population, with the University of Manchester and the Manchester Metropolitan University located just to the south of the station. Our next station is Deansgate, named after one of the oldest streets in Manchester. The route has existed since the Roman times, when there was a fort called Mamucium, which gave rise to the name of the modern city of Manchester. Mamucium may be named after the Brittonic prefix mam for breast-like hill or mamma for mother, referring to the river goddess. The suffix chester eventually evolved from the Latin word castra, meaning fortified town. Originally, the station was named Knott Mill in reference to the terminus of the Bridgewater Canal, where passengers can catch a boat to Liverpool. We then part ways with the southern route of the Liverpool-Manchester line via Warrington, and then the also-called, which provide a direct link between Manchester Piccadilly and Manchester Victoria. Now, at Ortsoling Junction, which was originally a station called Ortso Lane, we are officially travelling on the original L and MR line. Then quickly, we part ways again, this time with the Windsor Link, which opened in 1989, allowing direct access for trains from Preston and Southport to Manchester Piccadilly. The Industrial Revolution turned Manchester into one of the biggest textiles processing centres in Britain and the world. With it, the huge increase in population and development generated huge demand for transport for passengers and goods, especially with the port city of Liverpool. And so, the bill for the railway was passed in Parliament in May 1826, and the L and MR was opened on the 15th of September 1830 between Manchester-Liverpool Road and Liverpool Crown Street. To connect the newly completed Manchester and Leeds Railway, a connection was built in 1842 to what is known as Manchester Victoria today. Soon after Victoria Station is opened, Liverpool Road was downgraded to a goods station. In 1849, the Manchester South Junction and Altrincham Railway opened, connecting the line to Manchester Piccadilly. Liverpool Road was closed in 1975 and has now become a part of the Museum of Science and Industry in Manchester. Even after the station became part of the museum, there was still a connection between the station and the mainline system. It was removed in 2015 to build the old so-called. We are currently running alongside the M62 motorway. As we have said, the L and MR was known for having a lot of firsts. It was the first intercity railway, as well as the first to operate exclusively by steam locomotion. Although it is not the first to operate with steam locomotion, that distinction would go to the Stockton and Darlington Railway in the northeast, which is now part of the Tees Valley Line. The L and MR was also the first to be entirely double-track. It was also the first to use a signal system, the first to carry mail, and the first to be fully timetabled. Railways built in the early days are not equipped with adequate signalling and communication systems like a telegraph. By building a double-tracked, risk of collision can be reduced while maintaining a relatively high frequency of service. Although it was of such historical significance and is the main route connecting two major cities in northern England, it was not electrified until 2015. Before we get to our next station, we will pass through three closed stations: Cross Lane, Siddeley and West. We then arrive at Eccles, where you can change for the Eccles line of the Manchester Metrolink. The line used to branch off from Eccles towards Bolton, Wigan and Tildesley. All of them are closed in the 1960s. However, parts of the Tildesley Loop line from Ellenbrook to Lee have been reopened as a guided busway in 2016. Right after Eccles is Patricroft. There used to be a foundry right beside the station known as the Bridgewater Foundry, named after the 3rd Duke of Bridgewater, who pioneered canal transport in England. From that foundry, numerous locomotives were produced and ran on lines across the UK. Another former branch from Patricroft linked the station to Clifton on the Manchester-Preston line and further onto Bury. Alright, I think that's all for today. In the next episode, we'll continue our trip to Liverpool, and I'll see you next time at 2000.